Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about shopping with Instacart. So regardless of how you decide to implement this platform into your gig portfolio, one of the important things you need to know is the actual shopping system on Instacart from a technical standpoint. So with that said, we are talking about everything you must know about shopping with Instacart, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is very market dependent and store dependent, really. And what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. The Instacart app guides you through the shopping and delivery experience. The app provides guidance so you can successfully complete batches. This is partially true. It really depends on which store you're picking up from. If I am shopping at Publix, they will show me which aisle it's in. Then I have to find that aisle. They do say front, middle, or back of the aisle, but it isn't as helpful as they let on. CVS, they give me a general area or section, but it doesn't really have an aisle number a lot of the time, which is really annoying because no CVS or pharmacy has it laid out in a linear way. Don't even get me started on the diagonal floor plan. We'll be here forever. And 7-Eleven is kind of the same way. So guide is really a loose term. Flexible shopping. Flexible shopping means you're in control of your schedule. You get to choose when and where you shop for batches. The dashboard shows you batches to shop and let you know which store to shop. Tap Go Online to get started, then select a batch. Batches include shopping and delivering, shopping only, and delivery only. Delivery only isn't really the subject here, so we're just gonna skip that, but the type of batch isn't going to affect the shopping experience regardless. Just the number of batches within a single offer. Doubles, triples, shop only with a shop and deliver order will change how you shop. I'm gonna make a separate video on how to best manage those kind of orders. Chat with customers. You can chat with customers during the entire shopping and delivery experience. Talk to your customers in app while shopping so you can say hello, confirm replacements, let the customer know when items are out of stock, and more. You will most likely only need to message them if you have a replacement, but some shoppers like to message them ahead of time by sending some kind of intro message. I would say if you're going to do that, set up the intro message in a note section on your phone and just copy and paste. You don't need to sit there and retype everything because that's just going to waste your time. I will give you a heads up about that though. If you do send an intro message, some customers would see that as an opportunity to add stuff to the order while you're there, as opposed to sticking with the original list. Not sending a message, however, can lead to lower ratings and having a challenge getting in contact with the customer when a replacement is necessary. Checkout and delivery. The shopping app guides you through all of the phases of shopping, including checkout and delivery. Pay for batches using the Instacart payment card we mailed you. If you forget the card for whatever reason, but you still want to go through with it and you'll just get the reimbursement, I advise against it, but I did make a video on how to get the reimbursements. I will leave that in the description. Feel free to check that out. Replacement suggestions. The shopper app provides replacement options if a customer's items are out of stock. The app will provide replacement options and you can always message the customer and ask if they'd like a replacement or not. Obviously, stick to the suggestions initially, but if you have to call the customer to do so, if they choose to be unresponsive, give them 30 seconds and just move on. Getting ghosted is not your time to waste. It is them choosing to ignore you. Also, if they give you a hard time post-checkout about,
"Oh, I'm sorry, I was in the shower." "Oh my god, you have no idea I was on a business call." "Listen, I'm so busy."
yeah, so am I. If you can't pick up the phone, then you have to move on. There is no exceptions to that rule. I don't care what your obviously wrong opinion is. Now, I do have a couple side notes I would like to go over on this subject. Know your stores. One of the best ways to get shopping orders done faster and more effectively is by shopping at a store you know. Personally, my best Instacart stores are a local Publix I shop at personally, Walgreens every now and then, and some other stores that are easier to memorize. If I shop at the Target that is near me, not only am I going to have a hard time finding everything in a store that has a questionable aisle system, but honestly, I usually shop at Walmart anyway, so I may not know where each of the items are. Repetition also helps too. If you notice that a lot of good orders come from certain stores and you want to pick up from them too, even though you don't shop there, I say go for it. The more you do something, the better you learn the stores, the less time you spend on orders. Smaller store, better ROT. I find when you are shopping at a store that is smaller in size, it is easier to complete orders, especially when it's something like alcohol or a convenience store, which usually has smaller item counts as well. That benefit also comes with a better return on time, or ROT, meaning that you'll be completing the shopping order much faster than a larger grocery order, which is good if you know you're a food delivery driver before a shopper and will want to take the orders with a low item count anyway. Larger store, bigger items. One of the common strategies that a lot of shoppers on Instacart uses is to park in a parking lot of a wholesale club and do a shopping order with a larger payout that way. That said, most people who do that are doing it with the expectation of a car being full of larger items, meaning they are driving a larger vehicle and expecting heavy lifting to be necessary. Maybe he's got a wagon of some sort. Maybe he's got some kind of dolly, whatever. That said, the payouts will naturally be higher because of the tip, and sometimes the item count isn't that much either. Multi-batches and cart management. If you're the kind of person who likes to take double, triple combination batches of some kind, one shop only and one shop and deliver, you might want to make sure you go in with a plan for cart management. Sometimes one order is just so much bigger than the other, so they have a basket in the cart, and sometimes they may have to have a second cart because they are both the same size. I would make sure that you plan that out ahead of time though, that way you aren't stopping between shops to get you another cart or mix up the orders by accident. Perishable management. If you take orders with perishables, some things I would recommend is shopping for it last and having bags available to keep items cold. If you are someone who is prioritizing shopping over every other type of order, you might want to look into investing into some ice packs or a cooler for the frozens and refrigerated items. If you are someone doing all kinds of deliveries and shopping isn't really a priority to you, totally understand you might not need to do this. Drivers that use Instacart as part of a gig portfolio don't really need to have that because they are much more selective with the orders they take anyway, so freezing ice packs only to have them melt won't really do much other than just take up space. That said, I still recommend having hot and cold bags regardless of which app you're a part of. Learn from other shoppers. One of the best pieces of advice I can give to anybody in the gig economy is to learn from other shoppers who are also on the ground with you. Instacart will tell you what will benefit them. Whether it benefits you is irrelevant in their eyes. They just want to make money. Other shoppers, on the other hand, may give you tips and tricks to help them move forward faster, so in turn that will help you. And that's going to be based on personal experience as opposed to theory, which everyone and their mother has. Now, other shoppers could be some friends and family who have done Instacart before. We just had a live stream about item replacements with Bud Soda on the Tuesday Night Live at 9 p.m. And of course, there is the community of shoppers and drivers in the Driven Wyld Discord server. The Driven Wyld Discord community is exclusive for gig workers who are looking to expand their knowledge and expertise in the self-employment and entrepreneurial space. I partnered with Jeffrey Lago, the founder of Food Fetch, to bring you some of the most exclusive benefits based on your personal needs as a gig worker. Exclusive professional opportunities and gig postings. More live streams with high-level professionals in our industry. An educational system to help you build your own dispatch company and scalable opportunities that way. Whether you're a gig worker looking for more opportunities to earn or an exit strategy because the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not the goal, there is something here for you. Sign up using the link in the description and get started on making the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.